John Cole with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, I'm so excited I get to unbox and use for the first time and review the all-new Kuvings EVO820. Oh my god, I've been waiting for so long for this machine to get in the United States. It seemed like the rest of the world got the EVO820 first, and then finally, like 6 months later, it's finally here in the United States. So I'm glad we're finally getting it. And now you guys that live in the USA can benefit from the new improvements in the Kuvings Premium Whole Slow Juicer EVO820. So in this episode, what I get to do is I'm going to go ahead and unbox it, show you guys all the parts that are included in the US version, right? If you're around the world, that may differ or vary. I will also explain to you guys the differences or the improvements that they have made since the last generation, the C7000 model here in the US, or in other countries it might have been the 9500 model. In addition, I will actually put this juicer through its paces. I will be juicing in it, right? I will also be making a frozen fruit sorbet. This machine comes with a frozen fruit sorbet attachment, as well as I'll be making a smoothie in this machine. I'm glad to say that Kuvings is now coming to their senses and finally including that smoothie attachment with the machine. So now you are buying really more than just a juicer. You're buying a machine that can not only juice, not only make low RPM smoothies, but also make healthy desserts so you and your family can start eating healthier. And then finally, oh my god, I got it here somewhere, I don't know where it is, but we have the citrus attachment. This is an additional purchase. I think they should have included it personally, but this is an additional purchase if you want to convert your whole slow juicer premium into a citrus juicer. So I will be showing you guys that at the end of this episode. Anyways, on with the show. I mean, the thing I want to say about Kuvings is I have visited their factory over in Korea. And one of the things I like about Kuvings is that when I was at the factory, they were building the motors that go into their juicers. Now that is really impressive because most other companies, including large companies that make blenders, basically buy their motors somewhere else. Kuvings was doing that all in-house, and they actually had a quite high quality motor. The other thing I want to say about Kuvings is that they own the patent. They originally designed the first wide feed chute vertical slow juicer, and they have the patent on it. So if you're seeing other vertical slow juicers with a wide feed chute, basically it's probably knockoff, and to date I haven't tested any knockoffs, or ones that are actually probably infringing on the patent that Kuvings has been actively shutting down from what I hear. They haven't functioned as well, so save up and get yourself a good juicer. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and open this box and show you guys what comes with the Kuvings EVO820. Inside, wow, lots of parts here. I guess the main part that is actually easier to pick up now, since they have a handle, is the main juicer itself. So yeah, this thing is like a lot of their old machines are actually tall and compact and like thin. This is more fat and squat, kind of like the football player that's like a little more stocky, right? This is kind of more of a stocky juicer, a lot more stable on the counter. I like a lot. And in addition, something I really like in the back, they actually put a handle on it. So I mean, I can literally pick this guy up with one finger. It's actually quite heavy on my pinky finger, but I do like that. Also, of course, they have a nice large on and off switch on the back of the unit, and we'll be going over more about some of the features of the main motor body in just a second, but we got to pull out some more parts. Alright, oh yeah, and then we'll just start pulling out the parts. We got the pusher, which I do not recommend you guys use the pusher when using a vertical slow juicer. If you are using the pusher, you're likely feeding things in too fast. They have the top. This is a totally redesigned top that I'll be going over in a little bit compared to the other models, which I think is a huge improvement. In addition, of course, we got your Ultim auger there. Nice oversized auger compared to other juicers on the market. In addition, this machine, as I mentioned, comes with your smoothie screen in there. It also comes with your sorbet screen, which is really nice. Some other countries, these may not be included, maybe additional purchase. Here in the United States, you guys are getting that with your machine. In addition, you have the catch cups. So you get basically the strainer, which I really think, and I'm glad they're actually including now, so you guys can remove some of the pulp in your juice if you don't like the pulp. And you get two containers here. This one with the handle on the end is for pouring and catching the juice, and this one's a little bit larger, and it's actually for catching all the pulp. Rounding out what's in the box here, you get a whole bunch of booklets, including your product registration card that you should mail in. 10-year warranty on the entire unit on the EVO820 here in the United States. You know, most juicer warranties maybe 90 days, a year, if that. And Kuvings has been around for a long time, and I don't foresee them going anywhere soon. So that's really good. In addition, you just have your standard instruction manual, which I would encourage you guys to read through, although I will give you a summary of how to use this machine. And then the other thing I like about the Kuvings is that they include a full color recipe booklet here. Really nice, full color, all different kinds of healthy recipes that will allow you to eat more fruits and vegetables, including juicing recipes, smoothie recipes, sorbet recipes, red vitamin radish juice. Wow, actually I don't think I've ever juiced radishes. I'll have to try that. Different things in there, and then finally we got a couple more things left, and I think that's pretty much it. So we have your cleaning brushes. So unlike the other Kuvings machines out there, this machine comes with 3 cleaning brushes, where most juicers may only come with 1. Most juicers may just come with this guy, like an oversized toothbrush, and that's normally for, you know, cleaning the juicing screen. Luckily, to save you guys time, Kuvings has come up with a really cool screen cleaning tool that you'll just put inside here and rotate this back and forth, and multiple brushes go around the screen to clean it faster than ever. So this is going to save you guys some time. Of course, on the inside of the screen, you guys will need to use this tool to scrub around, and I'm sad to say that you know, this tool doesn't quite get in the bottom layer of the screen due to a protrusion here, so they need to redesign their tool here, or at least do something on the other end with a brush so you could get in like on the lower part due to their design, their unique design of the juicing screen having a closed bottom. In addition, I do like that they have also the pipe cleaner brush, which is perfect for cleaning in the juice passageways where the pulp comes out, as well as where the juice comes out, so you guys don't get stains in your juicer. Probably the biggest thing about cleaning that I will say is you want to clean your machine with some soap and water in the sink. I like to use a dish brush or some of the brushes that came with the machine. Right after you use it, don't wait, don't sit around, don't go walk your dog and come back and clean your juicer right when you're done, and then drink your juice. Or maybe start taking sips of your juice while you're cleaning your juicer, so that stains don't sit in on the juicer, so it'll be easier to clean, but more importantly, your juice will not be oxidizing as you are cleaning the juicer. This juicer takes me under 5 minutes to clean, not super difficult to clean at all. And so as you guys can see, that's pretty much all that's in the box. Let's get that out of the way, and let's talk more about the Kuvings EVO820. Let's see, move some of this stuff out of the way. Oh my God, I forgot to mention the last and most important part right here. It's this guy right here. It's like it's basically like our oversized wrench, and this wrench is here to help you basically take the machine apart should it get stuck. You know, one of the challenges I get, probably at least on a weekly basis, is, John, my vertical slow juicer, it's stuck, man. I can't take it apart, right? And so I have a few videos on how to deal with that when that happens, but it can be quite difficult. I'm glad that now Kuvings is the first company and only company that I'm aware of that actually has built into their machine a special tab that you could actually get some leverage on, and the special tool to basically give you leverage so you can actually take your juicer apart should it get stuck. Now this should not need to be used each and every time you use juicer. Actually, you really shouldn't need this tool. This tool is only provided for a backup emergency situation. It's like in your car, right? How often have you ever had to change a blown out tire with the included, like, you know, lug nut wrench that's in the trunk? Probably like never. But if you have a blown out tire and you need that wrench, you're glad you got it in your car, right? Same thing with this. I'm glad that they are now including this to make taking the machine apart easier. That being said, you guys should be juicing in a way so that your machine does not get stuck, it does not get clogged, and it is always easy to take apart. If you guys get your machine clogged and stuck and it's always hard to take apart, right? In my opinion, you guys are not doing something right. So for that reason, I would encourage you guys to click the link in the description below called Juice Like a Pro in any vertical slow juicer, including the Kuvings, right? If you follow my techniques to the T, and I don't mean like, oh, I did almost all of them, John. You need to do all the things I recommend, then you're going to have an extremely easy juicing time every time, and it will never get stuck or be very hard to take apart for you. You know, on rare occasion, I don't follow my own instructions, and my machine does get, you know, stuck, and I have to, you know, really use some leverage, really get strong, and use some other techniques to get it unstuck. So yeah, this will solve that issue. Anyways, there's all different kinds of parts you guys get with this machine. Let's go ahead and clean some of this off. What I want to go into now is actually some of the differences about the new EVO820. Now the EVO, I don't know exactly what it stands for. Maybe it stands for evolution, and that's actually what I think it is. This is definitely an evolution over the previous design. And the Kuvings, like they call it, their premium model, and their premium model also, luckily enough, carries a premium price tag. So compared in the United States anyways, it's about $150 more than their previous generation. There are similarities to the previous generation, and there are some significant differences, you know, with the new generation as well. Some of the things are the same are all the accessories. So basically all the accessories pretty much that you guys see on this side, aside from this tool, you know, are available for the previous generation. The Smoothie screen is an optional attachment, which will run you about $40 to $50. So literally what you're looking at is you're pretty much looking at about a difference of $100 for this premium version. So the question is, John, is the $100 worth it to get the premium version? Well, that's what you guys are going to find out right now, because I'm going to spill the beans, all right? So all this stuff is pretty much similar. We'll get that out of the way. You got the tool here, really nice. I don't know that that would make up for the difference. The auger, you know, I haven't compared these, you know, this and the previous generation side by side, like, you know, personally yet. Getting a finished machine, I did see that in a production model previous in the year. So I will be doing an upcoming comparison, comparing this to the previous model Kuvings machines. Make sure you click that subscribe button right down below and click the bell so you get notified when that video comes out. So we're not really going to talk about the auger. But what is different is this feed chute here. This is significantly different. Not only does this have the largest feed chute of any household Kuvings juicer, which is actually 3.2 inches. In addition, it has the flip top, right? So this is the flip top. Basically, it flips open. You put whole apples in there that could be up to 3.2 inches in diameter or 82 millimeters. You can also put whole beets in there, whole oranges that have been, you know, basically peeled or the coloring off. You could put whole lemons unpeeled in there and basically dunk that in, and it basically drops in. So that's really cool. I mean, they had this feature on their commercial model, but what they didn't have on the commercial model is the new top feature. So, you know, in the original commercial model, they had a small feed chute in the back plus the flip down gate. In this, they have the flip down gate with the hole, which is actually, this hole is bigger than the hole on the commercial model, so I like that more. It allows you to just put something like carrots in really quickly and easily with minimal cutting on them, so you can get them right in the juicer. So yeah, this whole top piece is improved. The other thing that is not here that was on the previous model, on the original 7000 and 6000 model here in the United States, they basically had a fin in there, and the fin's job was to basically make it so that you really couldn't stick your hand in the machine, so you'd have to really have to put an apple in and then use a pusher to push it past the fin that would basically cut a slice into it. This has no fin. In addition, the other feed chute was a little bit taller due to the fact that, you know, you were able to get your hands in there. They had to have it tall enough so that you really, you know, had to screw up hard to get your hands in there. This has a more short and compact length of the housing, so I like this more. So it's actually going to, you know, sit lower down on the table than the previous model, and of course this has a much wider base. Now, the other things aside from the feed chute being, you know, I think cooler for sure, making it more convenient, you're probably going to end up saving time due to this new feed chute, and you're going to not have to be able to use the pusher because of that fin. The other thing I like in here is that they've done some improvements, right? So right here, this little bushing, I don't know if you guys can see this, the little white bushing here. This appeared to be improved and like stronger, more durable in there. And so it's a lot bigger than it previously was before, so that's really good. The other thing you guys are not seeing is that on here there's some locking points. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 locking points on the bottom of this top for your feed chute that connects to the juicing bowl. The previous version had only 3, so this means that sometimes it would have some issues with popping off or breaking. This has now been improved with 4 locking areas, so that will not happen. In addition, this has also been strengthened, so they have basically some gussets, if that's what you call them in here, basically to make this part a lot stronger. And in addition, it looks like they have that little pin right here, so that allows you to basically put on this this tool here should you need to get leverage to pull the machine apart. So yeah, definitely this is definitely an improved piece overall. I don't know that it's going to significantly improve performance, but it definitely is going to improve ease of use. Now the next part's coming out is the juicing screen, and from what I am aware, there's no major improvements in this juicing screen over the previous 7000 model. This basically looks pretty much similar to me. It has the closed bottom, which is really nice. It's a Kuvings first. They're the only company that has actually a juicing screen with a closed bottom. At first I wasn't really sure if this really made sense, but the way they designed this, it makes sense and it totally works. This makes cleaning up your bowl easier because basically all the pulp, residues, and everything will be stuck in the juicing screen here. In addition, they have the wiping blade that spins around, so it's kind of like windshield wipers for your car. Low price models do not have these this wiping blade, and this helps just keep your screen clean during juicing. This part also pretty much the same as the previous generation. Now what isn't the same is this juicing bowl, and upon removing this juicing bowl from the box for the first time and washing it before I use my machine, I was like, wow, I really kind of like this juicing bowl just from picking up. It seems a lot more sturdy. I really like the rake on it, so instead of being like a cylinder, it's kind of like rake, so it kind of goes out, so it's like really easy to get in there and clean. There's really no nooks and crannies other than this little wheel that spins that turns the wiping blade to clean. And in addition, they made some significant improvements. Okay, so number one, on the top of this bowl, there's 4 locking points, whereas the previous version only had 3, so that's pretty huge. The other thing they did on this unit is where the pulp comes out, they basically, I don't know if you guys could see that in the video there, but they basically cut out the top, whereas this normally used to be closed. In addition, this used to be a little bit more narrow, so they've actually widened this and made it a little bit taller, so now the pulp could easily flow, and I could get my pinky in there to basically clean any pulp blockages, whereas previously I'd actually have to use like a butter knife to kind of get in there. Like their previous version, the C7000, this also has no silicone flap that you need to worry or fumble about pulling out when you're cleaning and putting it back in. This machine is a flapless machine, so I like that a lot. No part to break. In addition, on the bottom here, they have this gearing system, which I'm not fully sure that it's really needed, but basically it gears down so that the motor seamlessly runs and spins the wiping blade at the same time. And I guess one of the improvements on here is that if you do need to remove this whole contraption on the bottom to clean underneath, if things get stuck under there, you can do this on this new version. I personally would not recommend taking it apart because over time, if you will maybe strip out some of these screws that are down in there. So maybe clean it if you need to take it apart once a year or something, just to get it clean. I do find that when I wash this, I'm kind of careful not to get water or juice underneath here, so you do want to pay attention to that. I kind of like on some levels designs that don't have all this gearing and stuff underneath. Let's see, feed chute wise, this is pretty much the same smart cap they have on their other machines. Has a nice positive feel, and unlike some of the cheap Chinese machines, there's no screw that holds on the silicone here that actually may rust. So I like that. And this has actually nice solid contact here to keep all the juice or your smoothie inside the machine and allow to mix it up. Now this one also goes up to 400 milliliters that it's marked to. Probably could maybe hold up to 500 if you're lucky. And I think that's the main updates on the juicing bowl. So yeah, main points, more locking points here, improved gearing system on the bottom, and open so it's easier to clean for the pulp ejection. Now next, let's go ahead. Oh, the pusher. The pusher is all new. I definitely like this pusher better than the previous version pusher that had a nice groove in it, was kind of funky and large, kind of got in the way. This is a lot more streamlined and really cool. I really like the shape of that. It kind of looks like a pencil, like an oversized pencil when you're like a kid. Alright. Next, I guess the main part of the machine is the juicer body. This is where things have changed a lot. You know, unlike their previous 6,000 and 7,000 models, the EVO820. This is their premium model, so if you guys look carefully, I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, but basically on this, there's basically a leather-like pattern. Don't worry, no animals were harmed to make your Kuvings juicer. This is a leather-like pattern, but it's 100% plastic here. And so this kind of looks a little bit upscale, you know, kind of like the dashboard on your car, you know, or something like that. I mean, I guess it's cool if you kind of like into fashion and all this stuff. I mean, I could care less what the juicer looks like. I want it to perform really well. So that's the front here. This is actually, I think, they call it gunmetal color, is the color that is available in the USA at this time. In addition, the top here, basically they have their motor shaft coming out the top. They have their new sealing system that came out, you know, mid 7,000 production. So they all have the new sealing system here so that the liquids do not get into the motor and can ruin the motor. In addition, from what I hear, they have improved these little tabs. So in some situations, you know, I've seen tabs getting knocked off. Some juicers still only have 2 tabs that actually hold this juicing bowl in place. Kuvings actually has 3 tabs, and I heard that it's actually now basically steel reinforced. Instead of most machines have plastic tabs that actually have broken off before. These ones actually are steel reinforced so that they will not be breaking off. And in addition, this has basically a drop-down design. So unlike some machines that you actually got to put in and then lock into place, this just drops in and you're basically ready to go. In addition, the back of the machine has that handy-dandy, you know, handle there, so you can pick it up really easy and move your juicer. In addition, this machine has improved venting over the previous version. So they have venting here in the handle, which I think is really nice because it's hidden, and then here. And then, of course, there is venting on the bottom of the machine. Now, looking at the labels here, this is a CUL listed, 240 watts. And I do want to let you guys know, although this is the EVO820 model, on the bottom of the machine it will say ULD 1272CB. All right? So don't be alarmed. John, you sent me the wrong one. I got the ULD 1272CB. I was supposed to order the EVO. Well, you know, Kuvings is weird with their model numbers. They should print EVO on here, but for some reason it says ULD, whatever. But it's, trust me, this is the 820, all right? And then they have a few cautions. Always use food pusher unplug before cleaning, assembling, and removing parts, all right? And they have this nice oversized on and off button. They also have a nice long, maybe 6 foot, 3-prong cord to plug in. And I mean, I think that's pretty much it. So as you guys learn, there's some, you know, improvements to this machine versus the previous one. Is it really worth it? I'm not sure because I haven't juiced in it yet, but we will sure see. But before we do, I gotta show you guys how to assemble this machine. Assembly the first time can be intimidating. When I tried to first assemble a vertical slow juicer, although I'm technically inclined, I had a problem and I couldn't do it. So don't feel bad, and here's the biggest thing, right? If you assemble this machine wrong, it will not turn on. So, you know, I get emails probably about once a week. John, you sent me the machine, I put it together and it doesn't work. Well, that's because you probably didn't assemble it properly, and there are some built-in safety switches that are magnetic that you'll never see, that if it's not assembled properly, the machine will not turn on. So I would encourage you guys to take the machine apart, put it back together, and try it again, and hopefully you'll be able to get it. But this machine's super easy to assemble. First, you're going to take the juicing bowl and just drop that on. Just drop down. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the automatic wiping blade here and the screen you will be using. In this case, we will be using the fine juicing screen. We're going to put that on so that basically the bottom is flush with the juicing screen. It rotates fairly easily. Then we're going to go ahead and look for this red dot. This red dot lines up with a red dot right on the front of the machine right there. And then it basically drops into place. Then we're going to go ahead and take the auger. The auger just basically drops right into place. And make sure it's fully seated down. And then finally you take the top. Once again, you're going to take the red dot on the top, line it up with a red dot on the top here. And then you're going to turn this whole assembly to the closed position. And at the same time you're doing that, like magic, there's a little arrow in the back of the machine. I don't know if you guys can see that little arrow there. It's like right down there where my finger is moving. But that arrow will go from open and then line up with the close. So it's very important that that arrow lines up with the close, because if that arrow is not lined up with the close, the machine will not turn on and allow you to use it. And of course, then you got the pusher, which goes right in the top. I kind of like that. It looks kind of like a little hat. And then, of course, you're going to set up your juice catch cup, or your pulp catch cup, and your juice catch cup right underneath there. And then, if you wanted to, you could also put your sieve right there to strain out the juice. So yeah, looks like we're all set up. I think the next step is we're going to get juicing in the Kuvings EVO820 for the first time. Alright, so now we're all ready to juice for the first time in the Kuvings EVO820. The wide feature will make it easier and save you guys time over other machines. What I'll be juicing today is what I call a cold buster. This is the perfect juice that you want to have so that you can fight a cold off, or better yet, not get it in the first place. I'm all about prevention. You know, 2 pounds of prevention is worth an ounce of cure, is what they say. So today I'll be juicing my favorite phytonutrient-rich fruits and vegetables, including the almighty purple carrot. I want to encourage you guys to seek out purple carrots whenever you can. They are more nutritious than the standard orange ones. Here we got a bag of mixed rainbow carrots. You got white, orange, purple, as well as yellow. In addition, I want you guys to eat or juice the colors of the rainbow. So we got a lot of colors in there, but we didn't have the red. So I'm adding some red peppers. Red peppers are high in vitamin C, one of my favorite non-sweet fruits out there, the red pepper. In addition, in the bottom there, you guys could probably see it hanging out somewhere. We got 1 beet. Beet is rich in betalains, also really nice, rich, deep pigments. As well as we got the antioxidant nutrient powerhouse. We got about a 1.5 inch piece of ginger. Now, in addition, for more vitamin C power, as you guys know, vitamin C is one of the best things for a cold, they say, and I don't want to take it in a supplement form where it's basically man-made. I want to get it from my fruits and vegetables, because with the fruits and vegetables, you not only get the vitamin C, but you get all kinds of other bioflavonoids, enzymes, and nutrients, and minerals, and all this kind of stuff. We got 1 organic pineapple, right? Pineapple rich in the bromelain enzyme that may help reduce inflammation, as well as rich in vitamin C, and also is going to make this juice taste amazing. So let's go ahead and just get started juicing, right? Although this has a 3.2 inch wide feed chute, you know, some fruits may not go in there, you know, so like the pepper, okay, it fits, John, but like it's too fat and wide, so it actually won't go in. So we're going to have to cut this in half. So basically I'll just go through the process with you guys of juicing. I guess first we'll go ahead and turn the machine on, and we're going to start juicing. So the easiest thing is, I want to see how the carrot works, and I did not pull any punches. Some of these carrots are actually quite fat today. We're just going to drop that down in the machine and see how it works. Wow, look at that, man, so powerful. He takes that carrot, chops it all up, no pushing required, right through that center hole. Next I want to go ahead and put in something a little bit softer, so that this pepper will not fit in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and rip off this top green part that we're not going to juice. But everything else in the pepper you could totally juice, right? If you want to juice all this white pith in there, we're going to put the pepper right inside, and let's see if we can get that dunked down. Alright, that dunked down with a little bit of, I think it was easier to probably put it through the middle chute right there, so that worked a little better for me. Next, we're going to go ahead and put some ginger in now. Very important. Don't put a whole piece of... John, that'll fit in, man. You can do it. Don't. What you want to do is you want to slice the ginger up. There's strings in ginger that will basically clog up the machine. So we're slicing this across the grain into little bits. And then we're just going to go ahead and sporadically, you know, just drop a couple bits into the machine. After that, I think we're going to go ahead and dunk another carrot in. And while we do that, we're going to have to go ahead... Oops. That carrot, it didn't like that carrot. So if the machine should stop on you, it's not a really big issue. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit the reverse button. Oh my God. So not good to use your own collection bowl, because the spout on the Kuvings should come out a little bit further. It is not. So I mean, it's basically not making it into my collection jug here. I need to have something come up a little bit taller. So let me go ahead and get a different collection cup to use to collect my juice. Alright, so I think I got that situation resolved. We got a glass collection cup. I personally don't like to use a plastic to collect my juices. This collection cup is actually from IKEA. It's measured up to 1,000 milliliters. Of course, I also have a strainer on here because I want to show you guys actually at the end of juicing how much pulp was collected in the strainer. Hopefully this one will actually not leak, and it looks like we got, the carrot stopped again. Once again, we're going to go ahead and reverse that. Hit forward. And it's stuck again, alright? So yeah, we put a nice fat diameter carrot in there. And sometimes you're going to have to reverse it. I mean, this pretty much happened on the previous machine as well. On the 7000 model. That being said, this probably would not happen on their CS600 model, which is their commercial juicer. Alright, next let's go ahead and try to cut that pineapple up. So first we're going to go ahead and spin the top off. It looks like a nice pineapple here. And the cool thing, this is an organic pineapple today. So today I'm going to probably just juice the skin and all. Let's see, we're going to cut out some of this brown spot on the bottom here. And now if this was not an organic pineapple, I would not recommend nor encourage you guys to juice the skin because they do add fungicides on them. And so we're just going to go ahead and take strips of pineapple and just dunk it right in the machine. And what I will not be doing is I will not be juicing actually the center core hole through the machine. That will end up clogging it. So you guys can see I have the core cut out that I'll not be juicing. Alright, so it looks like that juiced fine. We're going to go ahead and continue on juicing. Here's a, once again, fat diameter carrot. Fits in the feed chute alright. Drop it in there. Let's see if this gets stopped up. Working so good so far. I think that other carrot was just a little bit too much for this juicer. Next we're going to go ahead and rotate feeding what we're going to be putting in here. So that we just put some pineapple in there. Let's put a couple little pieces of ginger in there, followed by some red pepper, followed by another pineapple. And the other thing, when you're using the Kuvings or any vertical slow juicer, you want to let the machine run for a little bit and let it process what it's processing before you put the next piece of produce in, or you may get some issues, with it clogging up or stopping or jamming. And yeah, so that was a fat diameter carrot. We're just going to go ahead and momentarily hit the reverse button, no big deal, and hit forward again. And we're going to make sure our pulp collection is pushed all the way down. Alright. So yeah, I'm highly confident that basically most other vertical juicers would also stop on these fat diameter carrots as well. Next, let's go ahead and put another piece of pineapple in there. Alright. Let's go ahead and pop off this green top of this pepper here. And let's go ahead and cut this guy up and juice it on up. So I haven't really even been using this trapdoor thing too much. I've been basically just putting produce in through the oversized hole in the top, which actually I do like a lot actually. Let's go ahead and throw some more pineapple in there. Now we are collecting, a fair bit of pulp in the sieve here. Let's go ahead and put in that purple carrot. Sometimes I like to cut my carrots up a little bit. So we're going to cut half up and put half in it first and let that process. Now I do encourage you guys to keep the juice flap open, not collect the juice inside and then let the juice all come out at the end. Based on my testing, when you do that, the pulp comes out a bit wetter, which means your juice, will not be as much. So you may sacrifice some yield for the convenience of having that cool, juice come out at the end. I want to put that down temporarily because our sieve here is getting pretty much clogged with pulp. So I'm going to go ahead and move it around to the back side. All right, and we're going to go ahead and continue to juice. I think we're going to go ahead and put in a bunch of pieces of ginger first. And then we're going to follow that with the pineapple. I think next we're going to go for that whole beet. We're going to go ahead and let that pineapple process. We're going to open this flap top thing. Let's see if we can fit this whole fat. I mean, this is one fat beet. Look at that, man. That whole fat beet totally fit in there. Amazing. But now the thing is, will the beet get juiced? It was so fat it barely fit in this trapdoor. And now it's basically sitting and spinning inside the Kuvings EVO820. So, what am I going to do? So I'm going to go ahead and put this top down here. We're going to take a carrot and we're going to go ahead and help it to push the beet in to make contact with the blade. Now you can see it crushing up that beet extracting all the juice, but the beet was too powerful for the EVO, so we're just going to go ahead and reverse it and hit forward. And that's alright, you know, this may happen. You know, if you want to avoid it from stopping the motor in the future, hey, you might want to cut that beet up into quarters, which wouldn't be that much of a big deal. In addition, if you do have super fat wide carrots, you probably should cut them up into no wider than 1-inch pieces, which actually, granted, the instruction book does tell you to do, but I'm a guy and I generally don't read instructions. Alright, so yeah, that worked really well. After the beets, I always like to include some pineapple to help wash through some of that delicious beet goodness right through the machine there. Next, we're going to go ahead and put some more bell peppers through the machine, as well as some pieces of the ginger there. Once again, our siev's getting full. We're going to go ahead and stop that, and we're going to put the spout cap down. And we're going to rotate the sieve to an area where it's not all impacted. Alright, and swipe that back underneath there. Alright, let's see, we're going to go ahead with one big solid fat diameter carrot, see how it does. Alright, stopped also, we're reversing it out. Let's go for some more pineapple through there. And finally the last of the little bits of ginger and some more of the red pepper. Gotta get our last of the purple carrot. Once again, this is really fat. I expect this fully to stop up the machine for sure. Actually, you know, I do have to say I'm actually quite impressed on how dry the pulp appears to be. It appears to be actually fairly dry to me in this combination, which is you know, pineapple, carrots, and bell peppers, which is actually really cool. I do want to mention that there is some extra like ground up pulp that actually is sitting in the top of the feed chute that did not go in the machine. You know, this is just one of the common challenges that you may have with the wide feed chute juicer. So my remedy is to take a nice long carrot and use that to push down some of this fiber that's actually not getting through the machine and trying to, you know, angle it in to get it into the auger. Never stick a knife or anything else in there to dislodge some of this stuffed produce. You will likely damage the machine, but be sure to take, you know, like a large carrot to do this, which as you guys can see is working great for me. So let's see, last of the bell pepper there, and we're going to follow the bell pepper with pineapple there, and that seemed to help clear out a lot of the excess jam on the top there. Alright, next we're going to go ahead, more pineapple, and I think we're going to go ahead and follow that with this last carrot. Now another technique you guys can use if you have a fat diameter carrot, dunk it in, let the machine take a bite off, and then pull it back out so that it's not just letting the carrot sit all the way in there. This is a technique I have had to use on other juicers before if you don't want to hit the reverse button. Although, you know, when it stops up at the reverse button, it's not bad, it's not doing any damage, it's just basically overloaded the machine. And we are overloading the pulp catch container right now. And let's see, we got 2 more pieces of pineapple. Let's go ahead and throw those guys right in. And it looks like we're ending up pretty clean inside the machine so far. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and put that last piece of pineapple in. And we're going to go ahead and let this machine run just a little bit longer until it's fully done juicing. Alright, so to me it looks like the Kuvings juicer has finished successfully juicing my nice juice recipe. I am left with the core here that if you did want, you could cut off the top and the bottom and then basically cut this in a literally 1 centimeter cubes or 1/8-inch cubes, and then put that through the machine at the end to get the core juiced as well. We're not going to go ahead and do that today, but it looks like we have lots of pulp here. We're going to go ahead and tip this up, put the pulp cap down there to prevent drips on the counter there. And then we're going to go ahead and take off my sieve, and we're going to shake it out a little bit. So as you guys can see, you know, there's a good fair amount of pulp, fine pulp that actually went through the juicer and came out but did not go into my juice. And as you guys can see, it's dripping there, and we have definitely a full container of fresh juice. All right, let's just go ahead and set this aside over here. And we're going to go ahead and pour out some of this juice, and we're going to go ahead and try it. All right, that's what I like about this pitcher here. Nice pours each and every time. All right, look at that nice, rich, deep juice, nice pigmented, deep color. Looks like a fruit punch. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. That's quite good. You might want to use less ginger. I like the ginger in there, but the ginger is kind of overpowering. You taste a little bit of the sweetness, and you just taste the vegetableness of this juice. It's totally amazing. So good. Now, I want to show you guys actually the easy way that the Kuvings EVO820 can literally clean itself automatically, partly. Just because you're doing the auto cleaning function like I'm going to show you guys does not mean you don't have to scrub down the juicer with some of those included brushes that I showed you guys earlier. You still will need to do that, but this will make the process a little bit easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and turn the machine on, and you're just going to go ahead and open up this cap here, and you're going to take about 500 milliliters of water, and we're just going to go ahead and pour that in. Then we're going to use that same catch cup underneath and make sure you have this spout cap closed. And what's happening now is the juicer is literally spinning around and it's trying to juice the water. Now I can't juice water because there's water's all literally liquid. But what's happening is the water is slowly mixing in with all the pulp inside the machine. It's mixing in with all the juice in there, and it's circulating around. It's kind of like scrubbing your counters down, right? Literally the juicer is partly scrubbing itself down to get it cleaner for you guys so that you guys don't have to clean it yourself. You know, I like to run this for a few, couple 5 minutes, and then drain out all the water. As the water is spinning, you will also see some of the pulp continue to move out. So I'll probably let this go a few minutes, and we're going to come back at you with the next step and show you guys how clean the machine is after we ran water inside to clean it. Alright, so I think it's been running enough. Let's go ahead and open this spout cap and get all this water out. So that water went in clear, and look at it now, man. You could probably drink this water if you wanted to. It'd have a really watery flavor with a little bit of, the pigments and the taste of the juice in there. And once again, we're going to go ahead and let this run and let all the water out. Otherwise, when you take this apart, basically it's going to still have a lot of water in there. It looks like it's doing a fairly efficient job. Sometimes I like to tip it up a little bit. And help it out with a little bit of gravity to get all the excess water out of there, which is working quite well. And then we're going to go ahead and stop. And now I want to show you guys actually what it is to clean the Kuvings juicer on the inside afterwards. So we're going to go ahead and take this apart. And on the top piece here, it's fairly clean on the inside. There's a little bit of pulp around the edge, which is not so bad. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rinse this underneath the sink. The next piece coming out is the auger, which we'll go ahead and pull straight up here. And as you guys can see, we have a little bit of pulp on the bottom of the auger, not much. And, hardly any pulp underneath. Now, should you get pulp underneath the auger, that's totally normal, so don't be alarmed. And this stuff, we can just basically take my hand and peel it off, and we'll put it in the pulp catch container that'll go in my compost. But, pretty much now this is clean. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the juicing screen here. This is probably the hardest part to clean on any juicer. You guys can see there's still pulp residues inside. There's some pulp coming out of the bottom here. And basically, you're going to want to use the screen cleaning brush that you put around to clean the screen, and then that oversized toothbrush to dislodge any kind of pulp that is stuck in here. You'll need to do this each and every time when you're done juicing. This takes the longest amount of time to clean. But still, even with that, I'm done cleaning this machine in under 4 minutes. Alright? And then next we have the wiping blades, which pretty much looks to me like it's pretty much clean. I'll probably just rinse it, brush it a little bit, and be done. And the amazing thing about the Kuvings, we're going to go ahead and close this all the way now. This juicing bowl is the cleanest of any juicing bowl I've ever seen on any vertical slow juicer. There's not much to clean in here. You basically just got to get the pulp out. And with the new enhanced feed chute, I could literally get my little pinky finger in there and pretty much get all the pulp out of there. So literally I just have to run some water through the passageways and brush it a little bit, and basically this part will be clean. So this has to be definitely one of the easiest vertical slow juicers to clean after they've upgraded some of these parts to make it easier. Actually, this is a big stickler for me. I didn't particularly care for that too much. Anyways, what I got to do next, actually, I got to clean up this, and then I'm going to come back at you and show you guys how you guys could use the Kuvings EVO820 to make a fruit sorbet. Alright, so juicing worked great in the EVO820. You're thinking, John, wait a second, man, when you're juicing, it was like stopping on the carrots. Is that working alright? Yes, that's totally normal. Don't be alarmed. You know, the Kuvings people watching this at the factory may not like the fact that I use fat carrots, but hey, that's what I had, and that's the thing about my videos, right? This is not going to be a short 7-minute video like some other companies out there that make YouTube videos promoting the EVO or promoting other juicers, right? They're going to give you the highlights and how great it is and all this kind of stuff. I tell you guys how it really is when you really juice the stuff, because unlike any other person on YouTube making videos, I probably ran more produce through all different kinds of juicers than any of them combined. Maybe not combined, but definitely, you know, because I juice on a regular basis. And I don't just sell juicers to sell any kind of widget, right? I truly believe and have experienced myself and have heard testimonials from thousands of people across the years on how juicing has helped them increase their health, how it has helped them overcome diseases that they had challenges with. It has helped them lose weight. It has helped them get off their drugs when being supervised by a medical physician, by simply the power of including more fruits and vegetables. And I'll tell it like it is always. You know, you guys saw I had some issues, and that's what you get with my videos. You know, I'm not powder coating, sugar coating anything. If it happens on the video, and that's what I show, alright? The other thing I want to say is, if you guys enjoy my videos, even if they are long, you guys get to know the ins and outs, right? I would encourage you guys to support me and my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. It's very important. That allows me to continue to make these videos to show you guys the truth about all the different juicers. You know, I don't personally care which juicer company or brand you buy. All I care is that you guys get the right juicer for you and you start juicing so you guys could change yours and your family's life. And when you guys purchase from me, that allows me to continue to buy my produce to juice and to process, as well as make these videos for you guys, to share with you guys the truth out there. So if you guys have learned or gained from my videos, I want to encourage you guys to support me by making your purchase once again at discountjuicers.com. I want to thank you guys in advance for those of you guys that will purchase from me, and I want to thank you guys for those of you guys that have purchased from me in the past. The thing I want to say about that is that we have a price match policy. Don't think, John, I could just get it from this other company, this other website, you know, and say $5. Like, I would encourage you guys to, well, number one, spend $5 more with me, you know, to keep me in business, to keep me being able to make these videos, to keep me sharing my tips, my juicing tips. Like, they're not going to share their juicing tips, or they don't know how to juice, right? I share my juicing tips so you have the best experience, you have the best time juicing, so it's fun and enjoyable, and you guys can reap the benefits. And so don't think you need to save just $5 to buy it somewhere else. I have a price match policy, so at Discount Juicers we will match any other authorized retailer selling brand new merchandise, you know, and match their delivered price. If you guys find a lower price and you feel the need to, you know, get a discount, email me directly. There's a link down below in the description for a contact link. Contact me through that link and send me a link to the lower price. I'll be glad to verify it and then match it for you, so I could gain your business, not only through all this education I do, but also the price, if that is truly important to you as well. I guess what we're going to do now is actually we're going to go ahead and use the juicer in a non-juicing way. So aside from just being able to juice fruits and vegetables and different things, you could also process frozen fruit in a frozen fruit sorbet using the sorbet attachment. And you could also make low RPM smoothies with the smoothie attachment that we'll be using in just a little bit. So first, let me go ahead and turn these bananas and strawberries into basically frozen fruit sorbet. You know, I would encourage you guys to ditch dairy, literally ditch dairy. Get off the dairy, get off the ice cream, get off the milk, get off all those dairy products, right? These, in my opinion, are not health food products. They have lots of calories, lots of fat. They have foreign proteins in there, which are probably not good for us. Instead, eat fruit, which is definitely healthier for you, especially the berries like I'll be processing today. We got some strawberries, of course, blueberries, blackberries. All the different berries have high antioxidant, you know, nutrients in there that basically keep you young, help ward off disease. And you can't say that for dairy, right? Dairy doesn't have these antioxidant nutrients in there. You're basically getting a lot of calories without the nutrients. And at least with the strawberries, you're getting a lot of the nutrients without the high calories of a full-fat dairy. Anyways, it's easy to process this guy, and literally it's going to turn these frozen fruits into like a sorbet or an ice cream type consistency. This reminds me of like when I used to go to McDonald's as a kid, and my dad would get us like the soft serve sorbet stuff out the machine. That's totally processed, not good for you. You know, this is kind of like my healthy version now. So if you guys, like after dinner every night, like open up that ice cream jug and the carton and, you know, eat it like I used to do, right? I'd probably polish off a whole like quart. Instead do this, right? Your body will thank you. It'll taste just as good, just as sweet, and it's a lot healthier for you. Super easy to do in the Kuvings EVO820. Let me go ahead and show you guys how. First, we're just going to go ahead and remove this top part here. Then we're going to remove the entire juicing apparatus, so the juicing screen and the wiping blade. We will not need that for this process, so we're just going to go ahead and set that aside. We're then going to go ahead and take the sorbet screen and line up this red dot with the red dot right there. It's going to drop into place. Then we're going to go ahead and put that auger right in there. Make sure it's dropped down and fully seated in there. You heard it kind of latch in. We're going to line up this red dot with the red dot in the front there, turn and lock it into place, and we are locked and loaded and ready to go, all right? And I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, the other thing I will say is that, you know, I like to freeze my fruits personally, but if you guys don't want to freeze your own fruits, you know, Costco is a good source for organic frozen fruits, as is Trader Joe's, probably one of the best two places. And if you're lucky enough to have a grocery outlet near you, they also have some pretty good deals on some organic frozen fruits. Once you freeze your fruits, depending on how cold your freezer is, you may want to thaw them out. If your freezer has a deep freeze and it's super rock hard, you could hit yourself on the head with it. It's going to hurt you when it's frozen, right? That probably shouldn't be going into the Kuvings machine. You know, you should, and Kuvings recommends you guys let your produce thaw out a couple 5 minutes, up to 30 minutes, before processing it for the best experience. Anyways, I'll let this thaw out a little bit, but let's see how the Kuvings juicer does. I'm kind of impatient. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this on, and then it's running. You guys can see the auger running, and basically we're just going to go ahead and drop a strawberry in there. You guys can see literally a strawberry got crushed and squeezed, and look at this, we have ice cream or frozen sorbet coming out. When doing multiple ingredients, I do like to rotate them a little bit. So we put a couple strawberries in there. I always encourage you guys to add bananas to whatever you're doing, because the bananas are really what's going to give you guys a nice like ice cream consistency. If you guys just did like straight strawberries, then what's going to happen is you're basically just going to have a strawberry sorbet. Not quite as fun. The bananas really add that nice fluffy texture that, you know, ice cream is known for. And once again, you know, there's no cream in here. We're not adding any kind of fat. Of course, after this is done, if you guys wanted, you guys could take some nuts and put some chopped nuts on here. You could put some honey on here if it's not sweet enough for you. Whatever you want to do. But, you know, you are in control. That's what I love about the appliances. I mean, these appliances literally allow you to prepare your own foods and not be hostage, literally, to the junk foods in the grocery store, right? When you want to buy an ice cream, you have to choose one of the ice creams with all their additives, all their preservatives, all their added sugars and chemicals in there, right? But when you make your own, you get to choose what you're putting in there. And darn it, in this, there's only organic strawberries and bananas. And you always want to finish up with the bananas at the end to make sure all that delicious strawberry goodness gets pushed through the machine. So you guys can see we're out of the frozen fruit, and we have now literally a whole bowl full of a frozen fruit sorbet. And at a certain point, the machine's pretty much going to stop like it did, and then we're just going to go ahead and take our spoon and spoon this out. I'll be cleaning it later and licking the inside of the machine. We'll put that down for now. We'll turn it off, and look at this. We have a nice bowl of frozen fruit sorbet here. So I'm going to go ahead and try the part that has the mixed strawberries and bananas. They did a pretty good job mixing it pretty evenly. Broken down to nice consistency. This machine does not add lots of air into it, so you get more of a hard pack. But I like this because it does not tend to melt. That's quickly. Wow, I could really taste the amazing strawberry flavor. It's also quite cold. Check the link down below for a video on that. And so if you want to make a lot of smoothies, right, the vacuum blender is definitely the way to go. They're easier to clean than a juicer with the smoothie attachment. That being said, you know, if you guys don't want to invest the money in an expensive vacuum blender, right, I would encourage you guys to use the Kuvings slow juicer. EVO820 to make your smoothies, because unlike a traditional blender that runs in 20,000 RPMs that's introducing air into the mixture at fast rates and oxidizing some of the nutrients, the Kuvings here is running at a low 60 RPM, so it's going to do minimal oxidative damage to the nutrients as they are being released. But that's why I like the vacuum blending, because basically I think you're going to preserve more nutrients, but I haven't seen data on that topic yet. Anyways, the Kuvings EVO820 can now convert into a smoothie maker with the included smoothie attachment. This was not included with the previous version, so I'm glad Kuvings is finally including it with their premium model. So first, let me go ahead and show you guys how to set this up. Super simple, super easy. Right now it is set up for the sorbet that you guys just saw. We're going to go ahead and take out this cone here and put that down. Instead, we're going to go ahead and grab the smoothie cone. So the smoothie cone looks like the juicing cone, except there's larger holes, and on the bottom it's actually plugged so that no pulp comes out. The other thing we will need is we will need to take the wiping blade to have this run optimally, and we're going to go ahead and put that on. And once again, line up the red dot with the red dot here. It just drops right into place, nice and simply. Then we're going to go ahead and take the auger. Auger goes right in, make sure it seats all the way down. Then we're going to go ahead and put the top on, nice and simply. And now literally we're set up to make smoothies, but before you start making a smoothie, most important thing, put the spout cap down. Otherwise it's not going to work, and you're going to have a mess on your counter. You will not need to put anything underneath where the pulp comes out, because literally no pulp will be coming out in this smoothie. So what I'm going to be making and turning into a smoothie today are some fresh greens out of my garden. We have literally 2 cups overflowing here of the collard greens that I grow year-round, including the stems. I want you guys to start juicing the stems of your broccoli and collards. There's lots of minerals in there. Most people usually just ditch them. But now, by putting them through the juicer can extract the nutrients in there to get into you without having to chew up all that rough fiber there. In addition, we are going to be putting in about, 4 ounces, just an overflowing of fresh mint from my garden. That's the basis of my smoothie, the greens. I want you guys to make smoothies with lots of greens, because greens are the most under-eaten food on the entire planet, and my goal every day is to eat 2 pounds of them. Luckily with a juicer, if I ran 1 pound of greens through the juicer, it makes only 8 ounces of juice, so that's not a lot of juice to drink, and I could get another, well, that's almost a pound, through smoothies and whatnot. Now, to make your smoothie even better, besides just the greens, right, we want to add some healthy fats. Healthy fats will increase the absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins, also make it taste a lot better. So today I'm using approximately 4 ounces of raw walnuts. Now, in addition, in a smoothie, some people, if you just put this stuff in there, it's going to taste hardcore, because the collard greens, they could have a strong flavor. When you fresh pick them, they taste a lot better than the store, let me tell you guys that. But we're going to add a sweetener, and I don't encourage you guys to add processed sugars. These are not good for you. But bananas are a natural source of sugar. They also have potassium, as well as many other minerals and fiber and nutrients, and so we'll be using bananas to sweeten our smoothie. Now, of course, if you have a smoothie, it needs to be done in liquid. Otherwise, you guys are making a juice. So we have some coconut water, approximately 12 ounces of coconut water. So to make a smoothie, super simple, super easy. We're just going to go ahead and turn this machine on. And first, I think we're going to go ahead and pour a little bit of coconut water in the machine to kind of get it going. And then we're going to go ahead and drop in a whole bunch of the leafy greens. Let's see, I don't know, probably the easier way to do this is use the drop-down hash door. But despite the hash door, I'm losing things because they don't have a funnel on this model, alright? So as you guys can see, let's go ahead and put some more of this. Yeah, this is why I really need a funnel on this guy. So as you guys can see, what's happening is the greens are literally juicing. The juice is coming out into the water there. Let's go ahead and add in some of the frozen bananas here. We're going to go ahead and add in some more of the coconut water there. And now you can see we're starting to get that smoothie consistency going on. If we need to grab smaller handfuls of greens and put them through the trap door there. I'm getting greens in my collection cup here. Alright, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and dump all the mint in there if we you get it out of a little container here, and we'll put it through the main chute there. Alright, the fresh mint will add like a minty flavor, and if I had somebody to go on a date with, my breath would be minty fresh for my dates. Alright, putting the rest of the bananas in there. Let's go ahead and throw more of the collard greens in there. And let's go ahead and put in the walnuts. And once again, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of coconut water, help things along and get processing. And I think what we're going to do now is we're going to add more of the greens. I like to kind of stagger the different items I'm putting in. Don't like put them all in at once. I put in like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Always seems to work better. And make sure you always start off with like some coconut water, some liquids. You know, that'll help. Basically, the juicers extract and literally the juice into the liquid, so you can have a nice clean smoothie with like literally zero like fiber left inside. Let's see here. We're putting in more of the greens here. I mean, I really wish they had a funnel for this this unit here. I mean, even with the smaller middle chute, a little bit hard to get some of these greens in without missing the hole. I hate when I miss the hole. Alright, got the rest of those guys in. Looks like we're getting pretty full here. We're going to go ahead and put the rest of the bananas in there. We missed the hole. Got all the bananas in there. And finally, let's go ahead and put the rest of the coconut water in there. Uh-oh, I added too much, and you can see it dribbling out, so we're going to go ahead and let some of this stuff out here. And we're going to go ahead and close it out and let it process some more. So yeah, you do have to pay attention. I guess the machine holds a total of 400. It's dripping out over here too. Holds a total of 400 milliliters, and evidently I went over by, let's see how much. I had probably 200 milliliters extra because that's what I drained out. But this is working pretty good. You're going to want to let this run a while. It doesn't happen instantly like in a blender, but that's alright because it's running at a low RPM. Like, the main big problem I see with the blender is that it does multiple hits on the produce, right? Your blender runs in excess of 20,000 RPM, so every time that blade goes around, number one, you see that vortex. So that's like introducing lots and interjecting a lot of air into your smoothie that is lowering some of the valuable phytonutrients in there, such as the polyphenols in blueberries, right? Or the vitamin A and vitamin C are particularly sensitive to this oxidative damage due to a blender, right? Whereas in this machine, we're overflowing again. In this machine, the RPMs are at 60, and it's not hitting the produce as much as the Vitamix, and also it's a more gentler process, and also a lot quieter. You can make a smoothie with this machine, in the morning, and you couldn't do that with a Vitamix without waking your whole family up. All right, so this seems to be working pretty good. I think we're going to run long enough. We're just going to go ahead and let that out, and look at this nice, rich, delicious smoothie here. So we're probably going to let that run and let some more build up because it's still working. It's processing some of the different greens and whatnot that's still inside and getting it forced out of the screen to have a nice consistency there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pour off a glass to see how this smoothie tastes here. Alright. Alright, look at that smoothie. I can't wait to drink it. This is not going to be super aerated. You know, all the particles that are appearing in here are like basically are broken down or juiced through the juicing screen, so it's very small particle size. Depending on the blender you have, this may be a finer consistency than your blender in many cases, but maybe a Vitamix to get it finer. But the Vitamix will also introduce lots of air, oxidizing some of those nutrients, so I can't wait to try this. That's quite good. I like the texture. I mean, it's different than a blender because the blender, like kind of, especially a non-vacuum blender, will fluff up the mixture. This is like more rich and creamy. I really taste like the walnuts. They kind of have that like bitter aftertone. But the other thing that comes through on this for me is the mint. I definitely like the texture of this more than a standard Vitamix blender that would aerate it. Although I will have to do a low RPM smoothie compared to like a vacuum blended smoothie to see the texture difference. I think it'd be pretty close or pretty similar. Just say no to aerated smoothies. For the last demonstration I want to do today for you guys, actually show you guys how you can just convert the EVO820 into a citrus juicer with the optional citrus attachment. I personally believe at the price they're charging for the EVO820, they should include this part, but you know, they do make it available separately. And so let's go ahead and pull this out. So basically what this looks like to me, it just looks like a standalone citrus juicer pretty much, except there is no motor. Now for the price of this, you can buy standalone citrus juicers, so I don't know if I'm seeing the entire point of this unit itself, but let's see if we can get this functioning here. So it looks like this maybe would go on this unit in the back there. Let's see, just like that. If you do not line up this, it will not turn on. And then you have a nice top here. We're going to go ahead and put this on. And once you turn the machine on, oh, that's nice. They got a clutch so you put this down and then it spins. Now this is all made out of BPA-free plastic. And actually, the juice doesn't even come out of spout, so it's all just going to get collected inside. So what I have today is I have a number of different size oranges. It's always best to juice the Valencia oranges. That's what I have today. Nice and juicy, organic, grown in California. Go ahead and cut some of these guys in half and see how the Kuvings with the citrus attachment works. Alright, so first we're going to go ahead and try a big one. Now the cone on here is nice and big. We're going to put that down and actually it's working really nice. It's got a nice reaming action here. Really working super good. And look at that, man. Reamed our orange entirely out. So that's the large one. Let's go ahead and try a small one. Small one works just as well, but look what happened on the small one. Literally is so powerful it tore up the orange and left a lot of the pulp up here that we're going to go ahead and remove. Let's go ahead and try the medium-sized one. Definitely working a lot better, so I guess if you don't have a super small one, you'll probably be pretty good. Once again, ream that right through. Make sure you give a good sufficient pressure when juicing to make sure that it's reaming properly. Alright? Once again, reamed fully out now. Once again, that small one again. Let's see. Alright, yeah, this time it's not ripping it out of my hand, so that's good. Oh, it started to do that again, and I caught it. And let's see, last couple oranges here. So yeah, the big one's really nice. I mean, with grapefruits it'd probably be super good. Now the thing I want to remind you guys is, you know, the Kuvings as it comes, right, even without this attachment, you're going to be able to juice citrus fine. The way you're going to want to do it is you're going to want to basically either peel the citrus off or more importantly just cut off the coloring. So you can see I'm just cutting off the coloring here on a part of this just to show you guys what you would do. You're just going to cut off the coloring of the entire orange and then put the whole orange through the little, you know, trap door, juice it all in the machine, in the EVO. That way you're going to get actually a healthier orange juice than this, because when you're juicing oranges like this, in my opinion, you're getting orange water. And actually, that's what Jake Cordich taught me, the juice man. Literally, you're basically just getting the water out of the orange. When you're juicing it with the white pith and all, you're going to get more of the bioflavonoids, more of the hesperidin and the rutin in there. And these are very important for us. Also, you're going to get a more mellow orange juice. It's not going to be so sickly sweet, right? It's going to be more mellow because it's balanced out with all the nutrients that cut down the sweetness if you don't want it. Anyways, then we're going to go ahead and take this off. This worked fairly good. As you guys can see, this caught all the majority of the seeds and extra pulp. We'll shake that down a little bit. And now let's see if this has a nice pour spout here. We're going to go ahead and pour this into our cup. Look at that. Nice glass of orange juice made in the Kuvings EVO820. Wow, who could believe it could make orange juice too? Gotta say, that's super delicious. Alright, so what did you guys learn today? You learned that the EVO820 could do lots of things besides just making vegetable juice, right? It can make the frozen fruit sorbet. It can make the green smoothies and fruit smoothies. And it could also make orange juice with the optional attachment. Now I'm going to show you guys my final summary. If you guys should get the EVO820, right? So here's the thing. Basically, the EVO820 shares the same juicing screen and auger, as far as I'm aware, as the previous version, the C7000. That being said, the juicing bowl and the top housing are totally different, as is the look of the bottom motor base. So the question is it worth an extra, in the USA anyways, 150 bucks? I mean, Kuvings is calling this their premium model, and I mean, I would agree, it is the premium model. It has upgrades and is an evolution over the previous generation. But I'll say this, if money's tight for you guys, just get the C7000. You're pretty much going to get the same yield. It has the same functionality. I believe this will also work on the C7000 if you did want to get that separately. That being said, my personal opinion is that I would get a dedicated citrus juicer, you know, that costs about the same money, that would actually have a stainless steel sieve instead of an all plastic one. Yeah, so I would basically get the C7000 over this guy if money is super tight, right, and you just want to get a wide feed chute machine. Now, if you have the extra money, disposable income to spare, you really like the look of this machine, you really like the ease and convenience of the new feed chute, which I think is definitely an improvement. Also, the other improvements they made in this machine just to make it stronger and more durable and more trouble-free for you guys, because if you guys don't want to like deal with issues, right, this machine has more issues worked out than the previous one. Not to say that the previous one's bad, because both these machines also share that 10-year long Kuvings factory warranty, should you need it. The other thing about this is that, like, I would personally rather get a vacuum blender than like use this for smoothies personally. After going through smoothies, you know, it's just a lot easier to do smoothies in a vacuum blender for me. You know, although for juicing, I would definitely say this is probably the easiest juicer, convenient to use because of the large feed chute. Although I will also say that I really wish they had the funnel, you know, especially when juicing leafy greens, which is something I believe you guys should juice large quantities of and often. Leafy greens, as well as things like celery, should be pre-cut into 1/8-inch pieces despite having the large feed chute. But with the produce items I juice today, as long as they fit in the machine, you can put them in. But the fibrous items can cause blockages and you know, back up any vertical juicer, including the wide mouth Kuvings here. So you will want to pre-cut those anyways. And without the funnel, as you guys saw, things were dropping on the table all over. So this might not be the best bet if you guys want to juice lots of leafy greens. If you do, you might want to look towards one of the other Kuvings models. The C7000 actually has a nice funnel and a nice wide feed chute, so it's easier to not miss the hole. That being said, I will say that if you're not juicing a lot of leafy greens, like you're doing carrots and apples, this is a dream machine. Literally, you get your carrots under, you know, under the diameter. You could put them in whole. You could basically drop in whole apples. I do encourage you guys to remove the little stem. If it's under 3.2 inches in diameter, just basically drop them in, and nothing could be easier than this. The other thing I will say is that, you know, it didn't really surprise me how this stopped so much, because I was juicing some fat diameter carrots, so you will want to cut them in half to reduce the torque needed to crush them and juice them and squeeze them if you don't want it stopping. But once again, stopping is not an issue. Just hit the stop button, hit the reverse, let it reverse out, hit forward, and then it'll continue to juice without any worries. I mean, overall, I definitely like that they came out with this. I think it definitely is an improvement over the previous model. I do like it more than the C7000. That being said, I do think it is priced, you know, a little bit higher than what it needs to be, in my opinion. And if you guys are looking at this machine, you might want to even consider their commercial model, which is, you know, probably about 3 times the price of this. But it's definitely an improvement because it does have a stronger motor, but unfortunately it has a shorter warranty. But it also has an additional top set. I hope to soon make a video comparing the EVO820 to their commercial model. So make sure you click that subscribe button right down below to be notified when my new and exciting episodes come out. I guess with that, I'd say if you're looking for a wide feed chute juicer, you want to get the latest and greatest, go for this. If you already have a C7000, it's probably not worth upgrading. You know, and if you don't have the money, it's probably just good to get the C7000 and not get this. But if you got the money, you like the styling, I mean, I do like the styling on this, then definitely I would say go for it. It's definitely a more refined and better machine. And that's pretty much all I got to say about the Kuvings EVO820 today. And I didn't know it. Alright, so anyways, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also be sure to share this video with somebody else that may be looking for a juicer. I have the most videos on YouTube describing, comparing, reviewing all the different kind of juicers so that you guys get the right one for you. I want to encourage you guys also to support me when you buy your juicer at discountjuicers.com. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below and make sure you hit the little bell notification so you get notified when my new and upcoming episodes come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know what new appliance or what juicer I'll be comparing for you guys so you guys can include more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. And also be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are wealth of knowledge. There are 500 episodes on this channel at this time to teach you guys all aspects on how to pick out the right juicer and the best appliance so you guys can eat more fruits and vegetables. So with that, my name is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotion offers for YouTube visitors.